Guys, look at this absolutely spectacular Kawasaki H1 500 Mach 3. This is an absolutely spectacular museum quality example. You got to look close to see the magic on this one. Every nut, every bolt, every piece of chrome on this entire motorcycle is brand new chrome, except for the left muffler on this side. That's original chrome. That's the only item on the bike that wasn't re-chromed. The paint is absolutely lustrous. It's a 13 coats of clear on top of this paint job. Bill Buckles, master restoration craftsman, built this bike for Roy Thacker of Thacker Industrial. And Roy is a connoisseur of fine motorcycles, and there was no budget set for this motorcycle at all. But I can tell you, he spent $18,000. That's what he paid for the restoration, on top of the price of the mint Mach 3 that he gave him to restore. And if you look at the fit and finish of this thing, you tell me, what do you think? I'm blown away. We've had a lot of H1s through the shop, but none quite this fine. Even the speedometer that was sent to Palo Alto, the gauge isn't redone. Every nut, every bolt is re-chromed. This isn't for sale. Sorry, guys. Unfortunately, Junior sold this to one of our repeat clients, but without even doing a video on it. He saw a picture of it getting unloaded and had to have it. But spectacular paint job. The wheels on these are period correct. 1974 Lester mags, which was a hot upgrade from the heavy stock steel rims, and everything else on the bike was done to original standard and then some. The cases were split, the cranks were redone, cylinders bored, carburetors rebuilt, proper correct intake. It runs spectacular. The engine's balanced beautifully. It pulls like a freight train, and it's almost too nice to ride. I mean, it's the kind of bike where you're like, geez, you probably cry yourself to sleep if you got caught out in the rain. It's that nice of a bike. And I'm a little bit jaded here at the museum because I see beautiful bikes all the time, and we do frame off those. And $18,000 on this. Bill told me that actually Roy told me that he got paid $5 an hour. I'm not kidding. That's exactly what Roy said. He said, I think he charged me $5 an hour, because you can't. I'm telling you straight up, a frame off to this quality, you're looking at a couple hundred hours of labor. The way this one was done at $150 an hour by today's shop rates. If you could even find a shop to do this kind of work, we could do it, but it would take a long time. Look at the details. Look at that motor mount back there. Look at the bolts, the chrome on the bolts, how clean the carburetors are. The Kickstarter is all re-chromed. The brake lever is re-chromed. All of the swing arm pivot bolt, the axle bolt, the shocks. I don't know if those are reproduction or original restored ones. The turn signals are beautiful. The grab handle is beautifully re-chromed. And look at that paint job. Capacitor, discharge, ignition, decal on it. It's dark out. We wanted to save it till Monday, but I was like, I was just excited. I really wanted to ride this bike. I wish it was light out when we did it, but it is what it is. It was just a joy to ride it. Dunlop gold sealed tires, nice sticky tires with the hairy nub still on them. 139 total miles on it. Every nut, every bolt, even the steering dampener, the horn, the condition of these pipes are re-chromed. These two are re-chromed. The original pipe on the left side, the baffle had broken internally, and we tried to fix it. We took the baffle out, and then there's a chamber inside here that we couldn't fix it. So we purchased another mint pipe to replace the original. If I didn't tell you guys that, you probably wouldn't know. That's the correct stamped pipe, the KH500 pipe. Chain guard's perfect. Chains and sprockets are new. Just everything's done well. Everything's done so well. Look at the axle bolt and even the spacers. Check out the spacers around this side. The spacers are re-chromed. The brake arm's been re-chromed. Anything that's zinc was properly re-zinced. Anything that was painted was professionally painted. Bill Buckles is a master craftsman, and sadly, I can't hire him because I wouldn't in New York second. He works down south, and he's got his own gig going. But a guy like that would be worth his weight in gold to a company like ours. Hats off, Bill. Roy, you know, there's something that happens when you get a guy who doesn't cut corners like Roy, who befriends a master craftsman and gives the guy an open checkbook to do whatever he wants with the bike. Look up here. Look up underneath the steering stem at the quality of the fit and finish, everything there in the original. I think that's a reproduction of the original graphic. It looks like it just came out of the box. All the wires. There's nowhere on this bike where there's any disappointments, even under the seat. Look at this. It looks brand new. The seat foam is new. It's just spectacular. You usually look under here and they're all rusty and crusty, and this is like this is kind of like a time capsule. Even under here, check under here. Usually the original paint is all rusty under there and crusty, and I've seen so many of these where people do them up and they're lipstick on a pig. You know, when you look closely, but look at the helmet hook stickers, the original reproduction stickers on here, or reproductions of the original stickers. The intake is all 100% original, restored to museum quality. This is a true museum quality piece. And I'm honored to have it here, and I really enjoyed the ride today. There's no evidence of any crash damage ever on this bike. The pegs, the brake. Like I said, Junior sold this before it didn't go to auction. I think it could have bought considerably more at auction, but it was a repeat client. Roy gave us a great deal on the bike, and we passed it on to one of our clients. I can tell you this, there's no way in God's green earth you could recreate this bike for the $18,000 that Roy put into the restoration. You'd have to find a really clean, original, straight mint H1 500 and then strip it down in the frame and redo it. And it's not a task for the faint of heart. We do them here ourselves all the time, and it's a lot of work. This one Bill did, and just a spectacular piece. The center stand, when you put it up onto the center stand, it goes a little bit past 12 o'clock, so the rear tire hits the ground there. I don't want to do it because it'll mess up the wood floor. That's about the only issue I found on the entire motorcycle that wasn't what I'd call pure perfection. Oh, in the baffle, that's it. And we did replace the pipe. The center stand works great. It's just when you put it up on the center stand, it goes past 12 o'clock, so it takes a little harder to lift it up. But that's about it. It's probably the bracket on the stop on it for the bracket is probably a little bit worn because it's what is this bike? This is 53 years old, and it looks brand spanking new. So like my dad used to say, if you're not happy right now with this bike, you'll never be happy, because this is as good as it gets, man. Already sold, but hope Junior's client that gets this appreciates this. I'm sure he does. It's a work of art is what it is. That's what they become at this point when they're done this nicely. Anyways, that's enough out of me. It's Friday night. I want to go pick up Christy and take her out to dinner. We had a rough, long week coming off a record month, the most motorcycles ever sold here at the New England Motorcycle Museum and Kaplan Cycles, and including this one. So today was just an incredible day. We got to ride the RZ 500 4-cylinder, the TZ 750 4-cylinder, and the RG 500. We had three 500cc, or two 500s and a 70cc 4-cylinder 2-strokes. And then I get to ride this H1 500 and the RZ 350. It has to be the best day ever. The best day ever riding street legal 2-strokes. We're known for the off-road bikes, the 500s, and all the classics, but we love these street legal ones. Are so much fun. There's just not many of them around. We'll get 10 KX 500s for every H1 500, and I'm not sure why. I think most of them got destroyed. They call them widow makers, but that's enough out of me anyways. Just obviously it's pretty stoked to be able to ride this thing and do this for a living. You know, this is my job, right? But actually I'm retired from the computer industry after 25 years, and I'm gonna do this till the day I die. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it because I'm completely and totally obsessed. I don't think any project like this museum or the bike shop could ever get that far unless it was a labor of love. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.